Hello, you guys. This is Sendero 21 Espíritus. This is a English version of my ritual on how to banish torments. Okay, how to banish those demons. How to banish also those emotions that are not like working on your mind. Let them go through so that they no longer bother you. All of that good stuff. As you may know, English is my second language, and this is a ritual translated from Spanish, and it's a long one. So you're gonna have to be patient with me, and just understand that I might be stuck in some words, etc. But let's get it started, okay? So first of all, we're gonna need to light up our black candle. I'm gonna start on the materials that we're gonna use. We're gonna light up our black candle and invoke the energies of the highest being. For me is Bon Dieu, Ran Loa, the greatest Loa of all. For you may be God, Goddess, or whoever. And you're also gonna start invoking the spirits of the night, okay, to protect you, to make this space sacred. Then you're gonna need a type of spray or lotion or any type of water that will prepare the space with smell, okay? You're gonna start preparing your workspace. I'm gonna use this Santa Marta la Dominadora spray. And you're also going to start invoking your guardian angel or any type of spirit or loa that you feel like needs to be present in this moment, okay? Myself, I'm going to invoke Simbi Macaya. Simbi Macaya hermoso. Que vengas aquí, may you come here and bless this space and activate this energy so that it can come through for our greatest purpose, okay? Simbi Macaya hermoso. So we're gonna need cinnamon in powder. It's like gonna be 3 cinnamon like this of cinnamon, 3, or just a little handful of cinnamon. We're gonna need milk. If you are very, very, very intolerant to milk, very intolerant to the point that almost like allergic reaction, get yourself some coconut water, okay? But that's the only exception. If not, it has to be milk. You're gonna drink it at the end of the ritual, and it's very important. If you're intolerant to milk, you still have to drink it. But if you're super intolerant, you can make that exception, okay? We're not gonna use this. This is just something I like to have, a little doll for me. It's just gonna be here with us in this ritual. We're gonna need, as I was telling you guys, this black candle that is gonna be on since the start. Try to get yourself a black candle that is this size, because you don't want it to be burning for hours. We're gonna do this ritual at night. Has to be at night. Anywhere from 10 p.m. okay, has to be completely dark, to 2 a.m. Right now it's 3 a.m. where I'm doing it right now because I wanted to show you guys the ritual at night. Has to be done at night, okay? It's black magic, the good one. And the reason why I want you to buy a little candle is because you are gonna do something with the rest of the candle that same night. So you don't wanna wait a long time waiting for the candle to completely light out and then go to sleep super late. So that's why you need a very little candle, black one. And then later on we're gonna use a white candle. It has to be like this, okay? We are gonna need some of this, okay, just like this, or it could be a ribbon, could be a black ribbon, or it could be a red ribbon, or both. Just you know, those that have red and then black, red, black pattern, you can do that for sure. We're gonna need some white salt, that's important. We're gonna need a handful of fresh rosemary. In my case, since this is my second time doing the ritual, the rosemary ended up drying, so I won't be able to do it with the example of fresh rosemary, but has to be fresh rosemary. It has to be for the ritual to work, okay? We're gonna need this type of paper. In Spanish it's called papel estraza, where we're gonna write a prayer. Just make sure to get yourself this type of paper. It's very, very common in witchcraft. And then we're also gonna need a pencil, okay? It also has to be a pencil, okay? It cannot be any pen or anything like that. It has to be a pencil. We're also gonna need something very important, which is 7 of this. Here I have medium ones, but if you could get twice the size of this, perfect, okay? Even longer if you want to, that's okay. Has to be 7. I forgot to tell you a little bit more about this handful of rosemary, okay? As you see, has to be so much handful of rosemary that you have 7 of this, like 7 of this on the handful, because we're gonna use at least 7. If you have less than 7, then the energy will not be flowing, because we gotta think about the numbers, okay? There's a reason why behind on every part of this ritual. Then you need a medium cauldron like this I have over here. You need a medium one, okay? Or a big one, however you feel like it, okay? You could also use a pan, a cooking pan that is hollow, okay? If you need that. If you don't have any type of cauldron, a cooking pan will be enough for you, okay? You don't have to worry about buying a cauldron, although I do recommend it. Okay, we're also gonna need some Florida water. Florida water is very important in this ritual. Just make sure to have enough Florida water, because we're gonna use it. This will be a blood ritual, so there's gonna be a couple of things we need to do to draw the blood, and a couple of items you'll need to buy at the pharmacy. You're gonna buy a septic wipe. You know, the alcohol wipes, you need some of those, or just alcohol, the one that they use to disinfect surfaces before you know, using them for medical purpose, or the one that they use for wounds, that type of alcohol, or oxygenated water to disinfect your finger before poking. And the antiseptic wipes, you need them to disinfect the needles before using them too. This is just a prevention, okay? You're also gonna need those type of needles that diabetics use very often to poke their finger and get some blood so that they can measure their blood glucose. We're not gonna measure our blood glucose, but we are gonna use the blood. So I want you to use those type of needles because they are thin, they are disinfected already, and they're made to draw blood. So it will be ideal. I'm just gonna just poke one of those fingers, and you can get them at the pharmacy. So you just have to go to the pharmacy. Okay, let's start. I'm gonna start by saying a couple of things and just keep watching, okay? The torments are those insecurities or discomforts that one feels, that confuse us, weaken us, and ruin our energy. Many say there is a demon of fear, worry, sadness, or so on. And although these are emotions, there are also demons that attach themselves to those emotions, feed from them, and provoke them, among others, to use that energy. Emotion, energy in motion, okay? And many times, there isn't even a demon. Sometimes it's simply our uncontrolled emotions. So what are we gonna do? First of all, at the very moment you most light the black candle that I'm showing right over here, okay? Just a small one. And that's how you begin your ritual. You do the invocation that I told you early on in the video. And then you're going to get that rosemary handful and get it near in the working place. All your items should be near. It's a blessed herb to drive away demons. You need brown parchment paper. That's the name of this paper, the brown parchment paper. A pencil, ground cinnamon, a piece of ribbon, a glass of milk, as the one I showed you guys over here. Okay. And a black or red ribbon. Once you have the parchment paper, you will write the following prayer on it, okay? And you write your name 6 times. And my date of birth, you write your date of birth 3 times on this day and write the full date, okay? Number, day of the week, everything. Year, every single thing, okay? Even if you want to write down how many years you have, even better. I deposit and strip away my torments to the forces of bon Dieu, my Loa, and the blessed herb of rosemary, activating its spirit and its healing and purifying consciousness, calling it to visit my mind, clearing my mind from evil spirits and torments, inviting the blessed herb to penetrate my body and my spirit, fully cleansing the torments of the down. Those first negative thoughts that appear in the morning when we open our eyes, the torments of the afternoon, those negative thoughts that arise when we are stressed, when we are already stressed, and the torments of the 4 o'clock in the afternoon. For every person, it can be 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or 5 o'clock, depending, because these torments come when we are tired, when we are more vulnerable to bad thoughts. Some people finish their work at 5, or some people go through their half shift at 5. And so it's usually a time when we have been awake for a long time and we feel already tired. So our mind is weak and our body is weak too. And that is the perfect moment for any bad thoughts or any demons, if we are carrying demons with us that don't bring anything good to us. Those demons and those thoughts start to go through your mind because you're already tired. So those are the demons or the torments of 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, and also the torments of the night and the early morning. Those that come when we are spiritually attacked, but also those torments that we ourselves create by keeping secrets we do not want to reveal. All of those torments that come to life at night to haunt us. You're gonna deposit all of those in here. Likewise, I ask my guardian angel that during these next 30 days, they fight to death against these demons while I recover my spiritual strength, my mental health, and my physical strength, so that no one and nothing can defeat me. The flower of rosemary guiding me toward a sweet and fully victory. I deposit these dark forces into this paper. Those that wish to make me sick or even kill me, and I free myself completely. From today on, each day will be a path towards my happiness. Okay? I, of course, won't write down the full prayer, and I didn't write down as an example. One thing I forgot to tell you guys is I won't be doing the full ritual on camera. First of all, this is my second time doing the video in English, and third of all, I already did this ritual by myself, so there's no need for me to do it again in a while, because it works. And fourth, this is a very, very intimate ritual, okay? Super intimate ritual. You should not be doing this ritual in front of anyone, okay? If you are in a house where there's a lot of people living at the same place, it's okay. Still, you should not be doing it in front of people, and you should not be telling them what the ritual is about. If they're so worried, just tell them it's something for healing. That's all. Okay? It's a black magic ritual. It's done at night and in secret. Okay? Okay, so after reciting this prayer, that's the reason why I won't be doing it completely, also because I don't want to make myself vulnerable in front of camera and YouTube and a video that will stay there on the internet probably forever. So, okay, you will create a circle of white salt around the letter, sealing it and protecting it. Protecting this space, you will deposit all the bad things, okay? Let's write down over here, prayer, so that you know that here's where you put your prayer. Okay? You put the glass of milk on the outside of the circle of protection. And the circle has to be super big. Right now, I don't have a lot of working space, but just so you know, it does have to be super big. As big as possible. In my case, I won't be able to, but it has to be pretty big. And the milk, as I said, you leave it outside, because you will be drinking this milk, okay? Another thing I forgot to mention is you need honey for the ritual too. You're gonna put some honey on the milk to make it a little sweeter. At the end of the ritual, you will drink it to soothe the pain of those demons that may affect your stomach and make it ill. With the milk, we will heal the body, okay? The cleansing will be so strong that if you had something stuck inside you, like bad energy manifesting through your stomach, you may even vomit or even go to the bathroom for a while, because it's going to be strong. Like, that's why we're also making it sweet, to make it as soothing as possible. Don't feel surprised if for the next 3 days you don't feel very good in your stomach. That will be normal, okay? It's your body getting rid of negative things, okay? So if your intuition tells you, you can add a little more honey than usual, okay? It will the honey will help you calm down your mind. Once you made the circle of salt, take a branch of rosemary and pluck its leaves. Place those leaves on top of the letter, and remember, the letter must be written on parchment paper and written with a pencil, not a pen. Okay, so let me put this aside. And right now it's not super clear because the rosemary is dried already. Let's just leave it like here. But what I mean is, you will have one of this and you will take off all the leaves and place it inside of this beautiful letter that you created. And you can even unplug it, the leaves, before the ritual start, and just put it on a bowl so that when you're ready you just take them and put them over here, okay? Alright, perfect. Once you place the leaves in there, take 3 large pinches of ground cinnamon or a small handful of of cinnamon, powdered cinnamon, and sprinkle it all over the letter. This is like an offering to satisfy those sufferments and those thoughts that are tormenting your mind. With the cinnamon, you're calming that fire, because powdered cinnamon is super helpful to calm down fiery energy. Anywhere from demons to fire spirits, like even the Betwoloa, or any type of fire. This is perfect for it, to calm it down. Talking about spirituality, of course, not literally fire. Okay, so Then you will let 1 drop of saliva fall upon it. Just 1 drop of saliva. I won't be doing it on the video, but then after this is when you let that drop fall. Okay? The saliva is your essence, your ache, but it also represents your wounds and the demons that you're trying to heal, all that is impure. That's what the saliva represents. Likewise, if you are a person carrying karma or ancestral wounds, the saliva represents those, and you are spitting them out, leaving them behind so that they no longer bother you. Okay? Let me do a little note. If you're doing this ritual for someone, it's very important to get the saliva from them. You don't use your saliva. And you also need to have the consent of the person if you're going to do this ritual on someone, because it's super intimate ritual. So you have to have their consent. If they do give you the consent, get yourself, or tell them to put saliva on 1 plastic bag, and they have to put like 3 times more than usual, like a lot of saliva, because they won't be doing themselves a ritual. They won't be present. So we want more saliva to give more energy of them to the ritual. And you even can ask them for 1 hair, literally 1 hair, just 1 hair from them, and then you take that hair too and put it over here. Okay? Have you ever seen how people, when they are very mad, they tend to spit a lot, and you can even see that spit coming out of their mouth? That's sometimes spiritually, when people are carrying bad entities, those entities come out from their mouth like that with their saliva. So what you're doing right now, after you write down the prayer and you read it out loud, if you say it very passionately, there will be spit coming out of your mouth. You let that spit go onto this circle, and if you even feel like spitting again on it, you spit again 100%, because that's all of that negative energy coming out. Okay, let's keep going. After doing this, let me put this around here. We are gonna start by putting another little stick of rosemary, and we're gonna start doing a taquito, basically just rolling it up, Okay, now we're gonna represent the 5 elements with 5 sticks of rosemary that are left. Because remember, I told you at least 7. 1, you took out the leaves and put it inside. The other one, you put it completely without taking off the leaves. You put it completely inside before rolling it up. And then we have 5 over here. In my case, since I told you already, I already did this ritual, so I don't have 5. But that's okay. You must have 5 of this as long as possible. We're going to represent air. Then we will represent fire, water, earth, and we are going to represent, with another stick, we're going to represent spirit, ego, and ourselves. That's what it will represent. In my case, since it is dried rosemary, of course it falls out. But with you, since it is fresh, it should not. If it does, the little pieces of rosemary that fall out, you will throw them to your garden, to Mother Earth. You don't throw them to the trash. Now we're going to take our ribbon. If it tangles, that's a sign that you needed to release something. So you're going to start untangling it and saying a prayer so that you release anything that might be bothering you, or you may be attaching to any type of binding or things like that. Okay, we're gonna start like this. Now, if you all have seen weapons, you'll think this looks like it, but let me tell you, you'll be surprised how many things these directors from horror movies, they steal from actual people that know witchcraft. They really love just getting to know a little bit about magic and just using it to portray it as evil or as bad. This has nothing to do with that movie at all. This is actually something done for good and for healing. Okay, so in my original video I say that once you finish like this, you're gonna do 3 like that, just in case there's some loose leaves so that they can actually fall, and then you can place them on the ground as I was saying. Now every single needle, it's gonna represent a pain that you need to release and let go. For all of those times your heart has been stepped on. Okay, from all of those times that your heart has been betrayed and you have not been able to take that back. These are the 7 pains of Mother Mary, the Mother of Sorrows. For those that practice voodoo, you can invoke the powers and the energies of Ezilifreda Dahomey to help you out. Okay? Let me keep working on this, because we will close the wounds. Okay? We'll close all of those things that have to do with broken hearts. In this ritual, we will close those wounds. We will close those first by representing them with the number 7. If it hurts, it's because it needs to heal. And if it needs to heal, it's because there is a wound that was open. Wounds are open, bleed. And when there is blood, there will be demons. There will be negativity that might want to take from that. Okay? Especially if the wound is open in your heart and you've been trying to heal it and still is open. Sometimes it's still open because there's already bad energies, negative entities feeding from your pain, from those past experiences. And those are the ones that do not allow those wounds to heal. But we are going to do it now. Okay? 7 pins. Okay, I'm going to start reciting the pains of Mother Mary. And you can play this audio, this part of the video, when you are doing it, and just play it slow motion and repeat the words after me while you are doing it. Okay? And we're gonna start. Before reciting it, we are gonna do the disinfecting of the pins with the wipes. So just disinfect every single pin with the alcohol wipes, every single of the 7 pins, completely disinfect them. And then you're gonna poke your finger, either this one or this one, with that diabetic needle and let it bleed. After letting it bleed, you're gonna start just collecting that blood on the tip of every single pin of those 7 pins, like that. Represents the pain, represents the blood. Pain is energy. Blood means healing. Every time you get a wound, your body responds by bleeding, because bleeding carries those nutrients. Bleeding is the key of life. Blood is life. So when you are basically putting that blood on that pain and on that pain, you are basically nurturing your wounds. You are putting that extra healing to it so that it can actually completely seal. Okay? So now that it's ready over here, we're going to place the pins. We're going to grab them and we will place them on our beautiful cauldron. Just like that. Then we're going to grab our Florida water that I do not have, but that's okay. And we will pour some floated water inside the cauldron so that it kind of creates like a little flood of Florida water. Okay? Now we're going to start reciting those 7 pains of Mother Mary. The prophecy of Simon, the painful intuition. A sword shall pierce your soul, representing the foreknowledge of Jesus' suffering and Mother Mary pain and a mother. Its esoteric meaning is the moment when a difficult truth is received. It also symbolizes the psychic awakening. Now we have the flight into Egypt. Mary and Joseph flee with Jesus to protect him from Herod. It symbolizes fear, uncertainty, and sacrifice for love, the instinct to flee in order to survive, used in rituals of protection, escape from enemies, and spiritual aid. We have the loss of child Jesus in the temple. Jesus disappears for 3 days. Mary finds him teaching in the temple. It reflects a mother's anguish and acceptance of divine destiny. It represents the moments of spiritual disorientation, of feeling lost, of losing one's purpose. This sorrow is invoked in magic to recover or find what has been lost or find a way to gain it again. Okay? Now we have the meeting with Jesus on the road to Calvary. Mary sees her son carrying the cross. It expresses the pain of accompanying a loved one in their suffering without being able to ease it. This sorrow is used for works of empathy and justice, for spiritual companionship, enduring and continuing forward, even without knowing what awaits. The crucifixion and death of Jesus. Mary stands at the foot of the cross as Jesus dies. It is the deepest moment of pain, but also of faith in transformation through sacrifice. In magic, this sorrow channels the power to break curses, cut toxic bonds, or offer acts of liberation. Now we have the descent of Jesus' body. Mary receives the lifeless body of her son. It symbolizes mourning, tenderness, and surrender to the mystery of suffering. It represents feeling the weight of pain and allowing it to simply be until it transforms into wisdom. This sorrow is used for mourning, closure of cycles, and reconciliation between the self and the ego, the symbolizing of death of a part of us that we once loved and lost. Often the loss of innocence. Then we have the burial of Jesus. Mary lays her son to rest. It represents acceptance of the end, hope in resurrection, and faith amid pain, rebirth from sorrow. In magic, it is associated with rituals of rebirth. It is associated with new beginnings and with rituals of burial. If you have been someone that has been done harm with witchcraft, like any type of burial spell where they like take you to a cemetery and bury your soul there or your energy, this is a perfect sorrow. The sorrow number 7 to invoke and to pray to. Why? Because basically what it's doing, you are blessing your body in the name of Jesus, or in the name of the divine if you don't believe in Jesus. Just the name of the divine and then in the name of Bon Dieu, of God. And what that does, it blesses your whole energy from every type of cycle that you go through since the beginning to death. And so all the witchcraft that they try to do to you to bury you, it won't work anymore, because you're blessing your body in every single part and making your death not something to suffer, or to basically to suffer, but to something to actually grow and liberate yourself from. Alright, you will recite those 7 sorrows. And now, after reciting them, you will light up that cauldron with the 7 pins. Let me put it a little closer. You will light up that cauldron with the 7 pins. The agua florida water will make like a little combust style, or I don't know how it says in English, type of alcohol that creates fire. Basically, make sure to do it in a ventilated area or open area with open windows or open doors. Okay, and you don't have to put a shit ton of floating water, just a little bit, so that it makes like a kind of flood. And that will basically heat up the energy, heat up those pains. Call it to revive, but in a sacred and good way that will actually let you heal those emotions, and for them to come through the proper way and completely seal, because also fire is life and death, so it opens a portal and closes a portal once the fire completely burns out. It's like a way of putting something, a lot of energy that will eventually fade away till there's nothing. That's fire. It's the end of a cycle too. So once it lights up on fire, you let it burn completely, and then wait just probably like 5 minutes so that the pins are completely, basically completely, they're not feeling super hot, so that you can actually touch them. In those 5 minutes, you can just meditate and think about those pains that you want to let go. Okay. Once the pins cooled off, you take them from the cauldron. Let me take them. Just like this. And this is the part where you will start putting them over here, one by one, pain by pain. If there is resistance, that is part of it. It's all like a mirror. Things you needed to let go that you were resisting. Just say a couple of mantras like, I let it go, I let it flow, I let it out, I let it go, I let it flow, I'll let it out of me, out of my life. I want to heal it. That's what I want to do. Inside their circle. Now you're gonna let that candle burn, the black candle that you have right over here, completely. Once it's over, you will undo the salt circle. Once the candle is completely burned out, undo the salt circle and put it on a little piece of plastic that you can, like plastic bag, with the rest of the candle. You know, those little rests of the candle, you put it there too. And what are you gonna do with this? Great question. You're gonna put it on a dark place in your house where there's no light hitting it. A lot of people find that dark place at the bathroom or at their closet. You should put it there where there is no people that can touch it, no people that can see it. You are representing your wounds with it, and you're giving those 30 days as a way of your body to allow healing without anything bothering it, without any outside situations. Because if you don't do this and you take this out into the light, don't get surprised when things are starting to happen in your life that won't allow healing. Let's say you go through a breakup, something happens, you fight with your friend, and then there's another thing on top of those wounds that will not allow those 30 days to heal. That's why you have to leave it on the dark place for 30 days to allow it to heal without anyone touching it, anyone opening, not even you. 30 days, no less, no more. I would advise you to put it in a box, colored box, not a transparent box, so that there's definitely no light coming in. Okay? With the rest of the salt and the black candle, that's why I told you to buy a little one. You're going to take it that same night to the cemetery, and you're going to leave it, basically you're going to put you're going to put it on the soil of the cemetery, the dirt of the cemetery. You're going to bury it there. That's what you do. And then you just leave. Before leaving to a cemetery, though, you drink this. You drink your glass of milk. You earned it. You earned a soothing and calm healing, depuration of your body. Okay? You're going to drink it. After 30 days, you will come back to this. Take it out of that box in the morning. Okay? Has to be in the morning, 6 a.m. or when the sun rises. You're going to go to your back door. If you don't have a back door, try to do this outside or on your front door with the door open. The door has to be open. You're going to grab that same cauldron and you're going to put it inside and you're going to burn it completely. You can do it with some Florida water so that it burns. Burn it completely. Then the rest, everything, like all the rest, you're going to take it again to the cemetery that same day in the morning, okay? I forgot to tell a little detail. So when you're burning this and allowing the burning air to get out of your house, you're gonna also light up a white candle. Okay, you're gonna light up that white candle, and that's attracting the energies of white magic, the good energies. You're gonna light that up and let it completely burn inside your house, and just thank for the healing. Once it's burned, you take the rest of the candle and the rest of your ritual, take it to the cemetery in the day, put it beside a grave that you find at the graveyard, knock 3 times and ask the spirits of the dead to allow you to reborn without the needing to die. Okay? Reborn in mind, reborn in soul, reborn in spirit and in body, without the needing to die. Reborn into this better version of yourself, healed for you and for your people, for the best version of yourself. And you leave an offering. What type of offering do you leave? Besides that grave, you leave some white flowers. That's all. And that's after the 30 days. Remember, you have to wait those 30 days. And then you just take those rests of the white candle with the burned ritual. You put it there besides the grave. What do you do with the pins? You do not put them beside the grave because someone might get poked and we don't want that. You wrap them around a cloth to make sure that people will not poke themselves with it. Completely around the cloth and leave it at the trash of the cemetery. There's usually a trash cans on the cemeteries I go to, so I imagine there must be one over there where you are. If not, then you leave it at the nearest trash that you can find near the cemetery. That's all. That's your ritual. It might have taken a lot for me to explain it, but the symbolism is what gives it the magic. If you do it with lots of concentration, it will work. It's magic. Magic always works. So do it with focused mind, faith, and it will work, okay? Remember about that symbolism. And that was my ritual. I hope it works for you, and I wish you the best. May you really heal those wounds and move forward in life. Much love to you and blessings. Senbo. Bye, boo.